Hello everyone from sunny South Africa. This is Hazel, and I hope you're having a nice day. We are not such a sunny South Africa today. It's a little bit cloudy and overcast, but that's always a good thing, you know, because then there's a possibility of the summer rain starting a little bit early. Right, so today we're doing something completely different, and it's also something I haven't done for almost 2 years. So here's hoping I still know what I'm doing. I did watch a couple of tutorials this morning just to refresh my memory. And I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes hoping that I've got the sequence correct and so on and so forth, until I eventually said to myself, you know what, you make a mess, you start again. So we're going to be using a little gel plate. It's one that I bought from Temu about 2 years ago, and I used it once and I haven't used it again. And I mean, I really enjoyed it and I had great fun making the gel prints. But somehow that just went off to one side and I kind of forgot about it. So here we are today, and I have my gel print, my gel plate, piece of paper underneath so that I can see this clearly on the dark background, which is there because I don't want to get paint all over my nice tabletop. Then I have some colors. I've got Dioxazine Violet, orange, straightforward orange, turquoise, hooker's green, and light green. Okay, we've gone off the page here, but yeah, it's hooker's green and light green. So those are the other two that I've taken out. I'm not sure how many we'll use. Then I also brought out the papers that I used last year or the year before, whenever it was, where I cleaned off my brayer, because the lady whose tutorials I watched recommended that you keep these because they can come in very handy. You can do some cool stuff with them. So I brought them out again because now we're going to do some cool stuff. I'm going to start with this one because this is a narrow piece of paper, and I actually, most of my mark makers are A5 size. Right, so what am I going to do? First, I'm going to put Dioxazine Purple onto the gel plate. Oh, and what I'm going to use to start off with as mark makers are the corrugated cardboard. Now, I've been lazy. I've made one that goes this way and one that goes the other way so that I can get the nice checkerboard look. Well, it actually won't be a checkerboard look. What would you say? Plaid, maybe. But it's very pretty. You will see shortly. Okay. Dioxazine Purple. On we go. Let's hope I get the proportions more or less right. I do tend to put far too much paint on, but let's see, perhaps I'll be better this time around. Okay, that one will go on this side because I think right, I'm going to use the longer brayer simply because it just means it's easier and quicker to apply the paint to the gel plate. Yes, there's definitely a fair amount of paint on here. Never mind. Okay, now this one, I actually need somewhere to put this down. What can I use? This will do. Got a piece of spare paper here. Just want to put it, mind you, I could just clean it on here, couldn't I? There we go. What's wrong with me? Great. Right, so now what I'm going to do, just going to move this a little bit over to the side so I can bring this further in. I'm going to start off with the vertical stripes. Lift it up. That looks interesting on the gel plate, does it not? Then we put it on here. Give it a good rub to make sure it goes everywhere. Haha, there we go. Put that back there. Now we take the horizontal piece. Only thing I have to do is to be careful not to move the cardboard around when I'm pushing it down so that I don't smudge the pattern. Voila, perfect. Right, so now we put this on here. And there we've got that looking good. So that's also a nice start. Okay, now, of course, I realized just what I am unprepared for. I didn't do a background on here, but that's fine because then we will simply have a white background with the purple squares, which is not a problem, is it? Let's lift this up carefully. There we go. Look at that. That's looking nice. That's looking very nice. My gel plate has dried off a little bit, but what I'm going to do now is a full-on experiment, because I'll put this to one side because that one was lifted off. Oops, it's a bit too much paint, sorry. Okay, let's see how this goes. Gosh, oh well, let's just see what happens. Sometimes these things are teaching us something, aren't they? Well, I'm off to a very good start today because I've been chirping away and doing all kinds of stuff and have just realized right now that I didn't switch on my recording. So here we go. Let's start again. This is what we did before. This was what they call the first pull. If you remember, I put purple paint on the gel plate, and then I came with the corrugated cardboard and did the one that went this way and the one that went that way. Then I took that off the cardboard onto this sheet of paper, which already had turquoise. It's one that I had used for cleaning my brayer many moons ago. And so that was the second one, looking rather nice. Then at the end, I put on a layer of the turquoise blue, waited for it to dry a bit, and pulled off this layer, which left me with a few little bits of turquoise blocks on the gel plate, and I have merrily applied orange paint to the gel plate, talking about it all the time, telling you all about it, rubbing this off on here. So anyway, let's have a look and see what comes off here. It's going to be fantastic. This is what happened. This was turquoise blue paint left on the gel plate, and I put a layer of orange on now, let it dry a little bit, put the paper down on it, left it while I was chatting to you guys. So that is absolutely great. And now what we're going to do next, let's put the light green. As if I've got the right amount now, which is great. And now I'm going to put this lovely green onto here as well, because they work together quite well, these two colors, the orange and the light green. This is going to make an interesting background as well. That's the big plus about doing gel printing, because you've got the prints you're doing, then you've got the paper that you've been cleaning your brayer onto, and it all adds up and looks fantastic. Okay, this is practically dry. Isn't it amazing? Right, now what are we going to do with this? I'm going to use the bubble wrap. Nice. Nice. I like it. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to put it on here. No, I'm going to put it on here. Let's bring this over. This is lovely. It's not easy for you to see because of the lighting here, and I don't want to move it. Oh, look. That is so cool. That is so cool. You see, look what's coming up now. It's really, I actually get to the stage where I don't know what I like more, the gel print or the page that I'm cleaning off onto. Right, now I think what I'm going to do, I've got Hooker's green here, so I could do this one. Let's do the shades of green and just see what happens. This is very dark, but I think if I'm careful, it should be okay. This is this is a learning curve for me as well, guys. So it's going to be fun. Oh, that does look like rather a lot of Hooker's green, but there's rather a lot of the light green on the gel plate already, so possibly this will just work beautifully as the background. Now I don't want to put this dark green onto here, so let's just take another sheet of paper and brayer off onto there. Yeah, that was rather thickly applied, but look at the nice kind of thing we're going to end up with here. Okay, so we will put this down now, and we need another layer, another sheet of paper. Slightly unprepared again. As you can see. Right. Fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to lift up the bottom corner. It's not very exciting. I think it was a bit too much of the dark green paint, so it's left an awful lot on the gel plate, and yeah, there's not much of the light green showing through. Sorry about the reflection. There is a little, but it's really not very much. So this at the moment is not exciting. However, all is not lost, because you'd be amazed at how we can recuperate. Okay, so now we're left with this on the gel plate, and I think I'll leave this to dry. Oh, hang on. I've got this paper that I cleaned off with years ago, and this side is not very successful, so we will start playing on the other side. Aha, looking better. That is much nicer. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a rescue attempt. This is just too dark, too boring, not much in its favor. So I'm going to try something where I'm going to stamp onto that and then possibly do one other thing as well. But let's start off. I'm going to start with just plain titanium white. I'm going to be using my homemade rubber stamps, the fun foam stamps. Yeah, I just want to show you guys. I mean, I could have put this away and just forgotten about it, but I thought let me just show you how you actually can rescue something that looks like it's a complete disaster, or at least a total write-off, which is apparently not as bad as a complete disaster. But yeah, now I'm going to clean off my brayer on here, because that would also benefit from something a little bit lighter and brighter. So now I'm going to use my spiral. So I need to make sure I know exactly where it starts and ends. Lift that up and put it there, and lift that up and put it there. Uh-oh, getting my jacket into the wet paint. Very nice. There. You see already that's making quite a huge difference. It's bringing up a much lighter and brighter look to the page, which is a good way to start. Okay, I should have been a little more careful. Come on, coulda, shoulda, woulda. There we go. We just put that in there. There we go. Sure, that will be fine. So that's already looking a lot better. um, I could also maybe no. Let's not push our luck. Then what I've got here also is a little non-slip mat, you know, for the shelf, at least for under your mat, a non-slip sheet. I'm going to just give this a bash. Because we can kind of change this around completely by simply putting all kinds of crazy patterns on it. And we could quite easily end up with a rather fun result. think this is going to, it's going to be interesting anyway. If not terribly exciting, it will be interesting. There we go. That's not looking too bad at all, is it? And now we've got this page. Which now needs to be taken off. And what I do have is this turquoise blue. Remember how in the very beginning we started off with a plain turquoise blue sheet? So this is the sheet because it was the first pull. And I'm just going to give it a bash on here and see what we come up with. Can't do us any harm. And I saw this trick with somebody to use the brayer, a clean brayer obviously, on your paper that you put down on the gel plate, pick up paint. And there we go. Look at that. Look at that. I think that's lovely. It's picked up some green that was left behind on the gel plate. It's also picked up the white, and it's made this into a very interesting piece. So here we've got, you know, like two complete contrasts. How's that? Somewhere there was a red and green sheet of paper. Ah, there it is. This one. I just want to see what happens if I come back to this and try and pick up some more. Once I've got all this sorted out, you know, we'll come back to these gel prints and use them in a couple of projects, just so you can see how you can take this and just treat it as a background in some instances, or as the entire masterboard background in other instances. Okay, how's this going to look? Not very much of a difference, but a start. It's a start. That's on here. I do have one more sheet of paper. I tell you what, let's just see what we can do. Let's just see if we can pick this up now. Shall we go back to the purple? Why not? We don't have an awful lot of purple here. Let's just do the very light layer. Purple, and see if we can pick this all up off the gel plate. So where should I put this? I know. Let's add a bit of purple to this green. There we go, very cool. So if it's dry enough, I think it should be. It's a very thin, not very pleasant piece of copy paper, this one. It seems to be awfully fragile, so it's creased. But never mind. Always find a use for it. It can be used for decoupage, it can be used for anything. Right, we're done. Fingers crossed, guys. It's going to work. So let's start at the top here now. Aha. Yes, it has. It's very pale, but that's fine, because this is only a background. Look at that. There's the pale green that's come off with the purple and the white. So it's actually very pretty pastel one. Nice. Right, so I think this is where we can stop. I'm going to just quickly spread these out. No, what I'll do is I'll switch off, make a nice spread down here, and switch on to close off. So there's our complete spread of 8 sheets that we've used. There are 2 sheets used for cleaning that I've put on one side, because you're not really looking at that right now. But this is our first attempt, was the purple and the turquoise, and that turned out to be a great success. Then followed it with some orange and some light green, which was quite iffy, but we managed to save the day. We ended up with these 3. Which just shows what you can do if you try. This will obviously be added to, I'm quite sure, and the rest are quite ready to just go into my stash of background papers and masterboards and collage papers, etc. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a little bit sort of up and down, but I enjoyed it anyway. So let's just say have a good end of the day. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you again soon. Until then, from me, please like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and of course the comments. I live on the comments. I live for the comments. So don't stop commenting. And we'll see you again soon. Until then, bye bye.